morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your reading, your What's Cracking for Wednesday the 28th of November. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I know it goes on, doesn't it? Sorry. I got up this morning and I looked at it. It makes me feel so humble, truly does. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you on board. I'm going to use the Handsome Roberts deck today to try and keep some of the glare off the cards for you, and hopefully at some stage or another this week I'll try and work out how to light the readings so that they're clear. I think you can see most of what's going on, which is the main thing. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, the Hermit card. I'm just wondering if I've got... No, my cards are upside down. The Hermit card. So the Hermit talks about taking time out to go inside to have a look at those things that sort of come up that, you know, they may take us by surprise sometimes. And when we feel them, we feel, you know, really intimidated or really worried about where they've come from, and sometimes we just need to go inside and have a look and see why that's happening. This is the sort of card you'd go into after experiencing grief or a break-up with someone, you know, that real need to sort of try and resolve it by going in deep inside ourselves. I know everybody's been doing a lot of good work at the moment by, you know, doing some self analysing, but looks like there's a little bit more for you to do. Okay, first card out is the Ace of Cups. Very interesting after the Hermit card. It could mean that you've been doing the Hermit up until now. There's an offer of love, a new start of love coming in here. So we'll have a look and see where that's coming from. Okay, it's a wish come true, apparently. Oh golly, a lot of people are going to be happy to hear this morning. Some sort of wish fulfillment here, something happening. I know a lot of people have been waiting for the next wave to happen, you know, with twin flame soulmate relationships. This could be about that. Now, the other thing that brings to mind is somebody could have fallen pregnant here because, you know, having a news of a new baby can bring up the Ace of Cups. And certainly if you've been wishing to have that happen, that can be that too. Okay, we have the Temperance after that. Now, the Temperance talks of divine timing. See how shiny that looks? I can't make it any darker. Just as well you know I'm telling the truth. So the Temperance talks about bringing a balance in. It talks about us reaching, you know, a sense of equilibrium where we have everything going for us. In the Rider-Waite Tarot, I always love that she's got one foot in the water and one foot on the ground. So she's very well balanced. She's tipping water from one cup to another to make sure there's equal amounts. All of that stuff means that she's at a place in time where everything sits where it should be. All your ducks are in a row, that type of feeling. But this is divine timing. So the universe knows everything's where it should be. This is also the end of a negative situation. I always see this as the end of negative thoughts and feelings, negative cycles, and negative situations. This is the end of it because it's the 10. Some of you are coming out of some sort of cycle here. I think some declaration of love is bringing you out of some sort of negativity. I like that because that's sort of like destined here. It's a destined event. Okay, and you've been waiting a very long time for this. So some of you have been waiting, it feels like a lifetime for this to come. This poor guy's fallen asleep waiting. Look, he's quite miserable. He's put all his, you know, pentacles in place. He's been waiting for them to grow. He's actually been manifesting. But it's about to bear fruit for him. Okay, and then we have the Lovers. Hoo-hoo, what a big reading today. So the Lovers talks about soulmates, twin flames, two people coming together. In the original deck, I always say that this actually was a choice between two people. So it could be that you have a choice between two people, but definitely love coming in here. Okay, and then we have the Five of Cups here. Now, this tells me perhaps you have understood the benefits of not looking back at the past here. This is definitely a feeling of what's gone. Maybe you've started only looking forward and you've managed to understand that there is love in front of you, and you've kept focus on the love in front of you, and not looked back at what's been happening in the past. Okay, we have the end of a cycle here. I said to you with that Ten of Swords, it felt like a cycle was closing out. So there's definitely an ending of a cycle here. Definite movement forward with this Five of Cups now. Definitely things coming to fruition with this Seven of Pentacles. Definitely things being all in order with Temperance. It's like the universe has conspired to bring you to this point here. This is the, you know, like the culmination of events. Oh, what's the next card? King of Swords. Someone speaking a truth here. Definitely somebody coming forward here to speak a truth. Could be an air sign, but more likely just the energy of this king. It's a king too. Whoever's coming to you has had a really, really good think about whatever's going on here. Okay, and here's you moving forward. The Six of Swords talks about us moving into calmer waters. So for this reading here, definitely a love reading. I can't read it any other way. This is about you waiting for someone to come back here. This is about someone you've known before. I know that because you've been waiting. The thing is, there's a lot more going on than just a situation where someone's apologizing or speaking a truth. There's a lot more here. This is about cycles closing as well. Some sort of negative cycling that's being put to a close here. This goes deeper than a love offer. This goes into you. This is something changing for you personally. End of negative thinking, end of negative cycles. So if you've been, you know, a person in your life who's gone through the relationship cycle, if you've experienced a lot of negative thinking, if you're not a person who has a good confidence, good self-esteem, end of all that. This is like you get to put all of that stuff behind you. You've done all the work that is required. I can see that with the Temperance card. And you're about to move forward. I love that it's acknowledging that you've let the past go here. You finally decided. You may have been in a situation where you waited a long time and then you went, you know what, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm just going to get on with my life. Because that's the feeling here with this Five of Cups. The Lovers smack bang in the middle tells me that this is a destined relationship. Whether or not it moves forward or not, I can't tell you, because with the Six of Swords here, I'm unsure whether you're moving forward on your own or whether you're moving forward with someone else. See, in the Rider-Waite deck, that has two people in the boat, but in this deck, we only have one. So it's possible you could, after this situation, choose to move forward alone, but we'll have to see about that. Definitely somebody disclosing some love to you, some apology for something they've done. You know, someone wrote to me yesterday and said, well, I don't want him back, he's a narcissist. And that's fine. I get that. You don't want somebody back who's done you harm. But the thing is, I was at a fair the other day and we had someone there who'd done a really heinous crime and they were so regretful of it. And I was sitting there thinking, wow, you know, I'd never seen anybody regret something so badly. So people do change. I'm not saying the person you're with is going to change. I'm not saying people can come out of things. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is there are times when we have to have an open mind to things. If a man's beaten you and he's been incredibly narcissistic, he's been cruel, whatever, I'm not saying you have to take the person back. That is never my intention. My intention is to deliver the messages from Spirit. But what I will say, according to the messages that I get, that sometimes it's worth listening to someone. You do not have to do that. Go with it, whatever. But sometimes you learn from their words. So sometimes it's worth listening to what someone has to say, because you may take something away from that. Not necessarily anything to do with them, not necessarily being with them, not necessarily, wanting to love them back, none of those things. And nobody is forcing anyone to do anything here. I am just delivering the messages. But what I will say is, don't turn people away before you've heard them, because there may be something here for you. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we have the card of fire, and it talks about letting go of emotional upheaval and embracing the renewal of the present. That's a perfect card for this reading. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. There you go, folks. For some of you, be very happy to hear that this is getting very close now. Have an awesome day. Awesome day. It's hump day, people. We're halfway through the week. Much love.